All right, so crypto market updates. Sent out a trade alert yesterday. We had a fairly substantial sell-off on this market. You know, initially it pumped, and that was a really good trade. I'm very happy I took this trade because it was very profitable. Played around in the room with some possible dip buying. Where was it? In this area. Anyways, there was somewhere. Kind of jumped the gun a little bit early last week. So then I was just kind of waiting. I had like low order stacked, and it was just like, this is why position sizing is key, right? Like you don't just go all in on the first trade, right? I like buying dips, but you know what gives me confidence in my dip buying is when I have some fatter orders sitting at the bottom of the book, where you buy something and you're like, please dump on me. Now you tell me that? No, this is my MO, my modus operandi. I always do this. This should not come as a surprise to anybody. This is my default, and I always mention that I've got lower orders stacked on the books. Oh, okay, fair enough. You're joking. All right. So if I take a stab at a dip or whatever, the first stab you should know is like a smaller size position. And I mentioned in the room, I said, listen, I'm stacking some lower order dips. I had them a lot lower. I had dips, like 0.05 and lower, right? But I saw it was creating a floor on the weekend, and I said, we are creating a floor. We're starting to go sideways after a downtrend, after we broke the descending trend line. So I said, okay, it's not quite the 0.05 area and lower that I'd like to buy at, but I need to adapt. So I just bought the dip down here, right? An even bigger dip, essentially. And now it's kind of forming like a bull pennant formation. You know, kind of like a... So it's forming a consolidation pattern, right? I was also watching people accumulate, right? Someone's asking, is it still a good buy? Well, it's like this. If you're uncertain, like if I was uncertain and I wanted to buy this, I think this is a consolidation continuation pattern myself, right? I think we're starting to see some green here, like this big kind of flagpole or whatever, right? Whereas before we just kept on seeing a lot of red. Anytime the market gets extremely exaggerated to the downside, like this is one of my favorite patterns to trade, by the way, folks, for altcoins. You know, broken descending trend line and a sideways floor afterwards. This is my favorite pattern to trade, always, for altcoins. Actually, I lied. There's another pattern that I like trading more. And the other pattern that I like trading even more than that is like a big red nasty bloody candle that just massive dump. That's even more exciting because the returns are usually a lot faster on those. So that's my number one. But my number two pattern that I enjoy trading is this. And I also don't mind the opening price discovery of like you have no idea what the price is going to be, but it's cheap and you're like, good enough, I'll buy some. And then it does something crazy. That's probably like my third favorite. As long as the price discovery doesn't have one of those nasty... See, this is a beautiful thing about the price discovery of this market. This is what I like about this market. Is the price discovery started down here. Unlike all those other markets where you got this big red candle and just crashes, it started low and then it rallied, right? And the reason why that happened, is because nobody could deposit. So only the people who had Bitcoin sitting on the exchanges. And yes, it's possible there's other people that are dumping, might not have dumped all their coins and sitting on Trezor and this and this and that. I get it, it's possible. It could dump more. If it dumps more, I'm going to buy more, whatever. I'm going to just accumulate a bigger position. So it's all good. Why do I say that? Well, you know, is it because I'm a Bitcoin Cash fan? Bcash fan? Not really. I'm not a huge fan of it. But I like a market that's new, that's got a lot of emotion, that's got a lot of volume. I like profit. Ultimately, I want to get some more Bitcoin out of it. So if this makes a nice move to the upside, I'm going to make a lot of money. I'm probably going to make more money than I did off of this move. Well, I didn't trade all of this. I sold out around like 2,200 because I was trading on Kraken. Right? And I had some coins on Kraken too, and I sold those at like 0.2. I kind of sold a little bit too early as far as the Kraken is concerned because pulled off one of these, whereas it didn't really do that anywhere else. Which is okay. I mean, still profit's profit, right? And I was able to buy back cheaper. So also keep in mind that, you know, what I bought back was only maybe 30% of the profit that I made off of this initial trade. So I'll look at Kraken actually, since that's where, you know, it was only 30. I only bought back 30% of my profit. So it's really like risk capital play money, really is what it is, right? And I've got low orders if it dumps. So this is what I call crypto masochism. You know, you buy some cheap coin and then you want it to dump on you so you can buy more of it, right? And it's like a double-edged sword, right? Win-win. Now, how can you lose when you start thinking like that as long as you buy low? As long as you're not buying up here with the rest of the clowns, right? And you buy low, then you'll be all right. I mean, obviously, Kraken is acting more bullish because you can't deposit or whatever. But, man, it actually would have been nice to buy a dip down here on Kraken since it had a bigger move. Which I didn't, but see, that would have been nicer. So, we still, different areas. BCH on Bitfinex, you know, it's got some liquidity. Seemed like it had some pretty decent liquidity. This looks really bullish. I mean, again, another pennant formation. So I would say, you know, if I didn't have a position and I saw a bullish pattern like this, like a pennant, and I wanted some and I was all, you know, unsure, I'd say, okay, well, I'll just treat it the way I've been treating it, you know, position size and stack some lower orders. If it dumps, you got a better fill, or just stay out of it if you're not comfortable. You know, each to their own. I like to trade. I like to go where the action's at, right? The action's not over yet on this coin. Volume's still good, and what I like about the Bitfinex chart is it started high and then it just sold right off and hit a floor. So you've got kind of like different charts. How long? I've got orders already stacked. I'm not planning on holding. Like, I've got orders stacked from you know, up above 22 to the 30s. I just stacked some orders. If it goes nuts, then I'm going to make a lot of money. And that's it. See if it could pull off something similar. I'm also going to keep probably like 20% of my BCH sitting on a Trezor that I'm just going to keep it. You know, maybe investment wise. You never know, right? Could go up a lot higher. So I might as well just have some since it was free. And I'm already making a ton of profit off of trading this. So it's a great market. You know, I like it. You know, I'm starting to warm up to it a little bit since I'm making so much money trading this market. I love new markets that have all this hype and emotion. It makes it really predictable for me, right? It's like shooting ducks in a barrel. Not that I shoot ducks. Bitcoin. No, it's not like that either. Like I'm very very happy to see Bitcoin doing what it's doing. Um, so my Bitcoin trade, very simple. I'm still riding it, guys. I haven't touched my long. I'm still riding it. Right? I let other traders do all the heavy analysis and soul searching. No, I'm not riding margin. I don't need to. I'm riding my spot position. I'll scalp it if need be. But if anybody is riding margin, then that's great. You know, even more money. Um, and it's awesome, you know, and just, you know, look, talking about trader psychology. You know, I saw traders, you know, oh, I'm gonna take profit at 22, and then they buy higher on the 2400 breakout, but the market moves so fast, so they only got in at 2600, and then maybe they sold here, you know, or maybe they panicked and held and like, okay, I'm gonna have strong hands now. I was waiting for confirmation, and maybe they panicked and sold down there, and then went up, and then it broke out. Maybe they bought back up here, right? And it just like how to waste time over trading and overthinking this, right? I've learned something in Bitcoin in my years of trading it. When it gets a fresh recharge of momentum, you ride it and you get out of its way and you just relax, right? Take a nap, eat some peeled grapes, you know, make a sandwich. Anyways, so that's what you do. You ride it. Why peeled grapes? I don't know. Why not? I'm just messing around. I don't eat peeled grapes. So that's Bitcoin. All right, BAT. So let's look at some altcoins here, guys, because you know, still a lot of people going on about, oh, shopping altcoins, this, right? And targets for Bitcoin. Okay, you want targets for Bitcoin? I honestly think this bad boy is going to 4,000. Sorry, 5,000. We're gonna see resistance at 4. You know, we might see a good correction. But you know, this was my original target when we broke out here. When we broke out of here, 4,000 was my original target. I even tweeted it, right? But we're not too far from 4,000 now, from this area, and we just broke out and we built up fresh momentum, and this thing doesn't seem to be slowing down much except for some small consolidations. We've just made the first kind of wave up, the first flag up. I honestly think if we continue on this trajectory, the second flag is going to be at the 4,000 area, which kind of leads me to suspect we might creep up higher to the 5,000 area, which would be 1.618. Right? And I'm really not in a huge rush to sell Bitcoin. You know, I'm feeling pretty good about Bitcoin. Now I'd like to maybe close some out, buy some dips, you know, maybe play the waves, accumulate some more Bitcoin, trade some altcoins, stuff like that. So, you know, 4,000 I think won't be difficult to achieve. And that lines up exactly with my prediction. Well, look, I'll show you. So this is a prediction I made on May 3rd. May 3rd. Basically said if larger Bitcoin trend goes parabolic, and this is a chart, 4,000, right? Now obviously it took a while to get there. We had a lot of stuff, but now I'm starting to think that, you know, going higher up a level would be accurate too. Anyways, so yeah, there's definitely BTREX is the way. If you're gonna trade altcoins, I think BTREX is the way to go. Right? A lot of Poloniex coins kind of look like garbage right now. I'll show you, you know, one that I've been in since, you know, a few weeks. that I think is going to be a very hot market that I might just I'm planning on trend riding this one. Here again, my favorite pattern, right? When I go altcoin hop shopping, I will JOMO most coins that are not in this pattern. I will JOMO, joy of missing out. I don't care. Right? You know, and people get excited when they see markets going up. Right? This is how you get trapped. You know, people say, "Oh, Neo's gone up a bunch." Yeah, Neo's been making some good money, I think. Has that gone up a bunch? Yeah, that already went up. What was the other one? I was looking at all these coins. This one's not bad. This one's not bad. Could break out. I mean, it's not the most ideal area to buy for me. My preferred area would have been down here. So it pains me to have to buy something that's not the bottom. In case you haven't figured it out, I like buying at the bottom of things. Or at least I try anyways. But this could break out. I'll show you one that I rebought. Okay, so BAT, I'm going to show you guys a new one that I rebought today. You ready? Boom. Remember this bad boy? RLC. It's kind of like Golem. You know, and I'm so glad that I sold it. Right? So glad that I sold it. I was in this and I got rid of it and it broke down. Right? So I could just be a really bad bag holder right now. But instead, I cut out ruthlessly because I have no attachment to any of these. The thing dumped like 50% or whatever. And now it's forming that pattern. So I rebought. I was like, all right, nice cheap. I'm still in GNT. Golem, what's it doing? Oh, it's breaking down. Okay. Oh my god, it's going to explode. Are we looking at the same chart or? How do you mean like a downwards explosion or what? Yeah, I cut out of the most of the Poloniex coins last week. Zcash, Ripple, Made. I cut out of those. Because, so those were like, you know, cut your losses short type of moves. Because when I look at a lot of the Poloniex coins, they look like garbage to me right now. Like, look, this market that pumped ridiculous prices keeps on breaking new lows. Look, Ripple broke a new low. I'm not bag holding some pumped table scraps. Okay? This is what I call this. This is pumped table scraps. Right? Yeah, it could break out, whatever, blah blah. But this looks like not so good. Someone said look at Digibyte. I wouldn't be surprised to see some real breakdowns. Right? What else is on Poloniex? I mean, you just look at all these Poloniex coins and most of them look inversely correlated. So I just want to find a lot of red. Right? Litecoin, Zcash, Factom, just a lot of red, right? A lot of descending triangles. Look, Doge made a new low. You know, Ethereum Classic. I still have some investment wise, but it's a really, really good thing that I took profit off of like the trade, right? Where did I take profit? Well, we broke down. Where was it? I can't remember. We broke down. You know, and as they're breaking down, I took profit. Probably like here or whatever. We had this pattern and broke down. And then, remember when everyone was all hyped up about the breakout? Remember that? Oh, it's breaking out. It's getting added to Bitcoin China. And I was watching it too for possible breakout. And then I decided to scalp a short. And we shorted this initial drop right here. It was anticipatory. Yeah, I still have a little bit of GNT, but I would, if we get some serious washouts, I would actually scoop up some cheaper coins. So, see how this all just kind of broke down into new lows? See, boom, new lows, just breaking down, all these pumped coins breaking down. What do I think about waves? This isn't really my thing. I don't like buying things that are here. That's just my style. I'll JOMO it. I don't care. It could go up higher. I'm not really interested in that. Altcoins are so liquid that you either, for my rule for altcoins is I either buy it cheap in the gutter or not at all. I personally rarely do altcoin breakouts myself, because they're not very liquid. I think breakouts work a lot better in liquid markets. That's just me. That's just my style. I always rather buy down here. Right? I don't like buying like people's table scraps on their pumps. Right? So, and I don't like buying when it's already up a bunch. That's just me. It's probably going to go up higher, and I don't care. Right? I don't care. This is how I actually stay profitable in trading altcoins. Just by being picky like that. That's just me, though. Everyone's got their own style. If you want to catch it, then catch it. But, you know, the time to in my opinion, the time to have caught this would have been like maybe on the throwback right here, where it retests the trend line. This would have been the good entry. Anyways, that's that. But CVC, that's Civic, that's Lingham's project. Still in price discovery, isn't it? Still new, isn't it? Ish. CVC, Civic. Market cap's pretty high. Wow, there's not a lot of supply that's out. Nah, I'm not gonna touch it. I'm gonna wait, see if it goes down some more. Obviously looking at CFI, just kind of hugging the floor again. Kind of similar, you know, broke the trend line around here and then started going sideways. It's a slow cooker. Alright, so here's an example of like a big descending triangle, right? I actually don't think we've hit full capitulation yet on a lot of these altcoins. What does capitulation mean? You know, when bag holders give up, when bag holders throw in the towel, right? That's capitulation. Right? Big descending triangle. Keeps on making lower highs, yada yada. And you know, let me show you something about Ethereum last year. This is why I don't like buying stuff that looks like this. Like, if you really look at it, this thing is still up. You might think it's a deal. It's still up, you know, 933% from the beginning of the year. That doesn't seem like a deal to me. That just seems like sloppy table scraps. That's just me. It's my thoughts, but I'll show you something about. Just my opinion. I could be wrong. It doesn't mean that when I say that, it doesn't mean that I'm saying it can't go up, right? You could say, oh, you told me it was, you know, garbage and it wasn't going to go up. And I say, no, I didn't say it can't go up. I said it's more of a coin toss, and I don't trade coin tosses, right? And it actually kind of looks higher probability that it's going to go down, in my opinion. But, you know, here's another example of a descending triangle that we saw in Ethereum last year. Remember this triangle? Right? Remember that? You know, people could have been like, oh, I'm going to buy the dip. Buy the dip. Now, obviously, in the big picture, it went up. Went up a whole bunch. But I wanted to wait till that broke down and then wait for like a good reversal. So I wouldn't be so like, this was the capitulation right here. This was the final capitulation. Right? That's the final capitulation. Someone's asking me if I'm still in Edgeless, and I'm not. I sold Edgeless a while ago. Before it fell apart. I saw that it kind of... This was a very, very good trade. Very profitable. But now... So it broke down a bunch. Alright, so I've decided to buy a little bit of Edgeless. Buy back some of the Edgeless. You know, we sold as... I think I sold the rest on this bounce or whatnot. Anyways, I sold the rest up here. It was in the twos. I can't remember exactly where it was, but it was on one of these dead cat bounces. How long do I plan on keeping it? Well, let's see. You know, it depends what the market does. If it wants to make another wave up or whatever, then, you know, maybe this would be another area. Otherwise, maybe it'll just create a dead cat bounce. We still haven't really broken this trend line, so it's kind of anticipatory based on prior resistance and support. So there's obviously a lot of stuff happening here. It's a relatively new market. This is one of the markets where we made a lot of money on this here because we bought on the opening day on Liqui at the bottom. You know, like I sent out a trade alert. We bought this stuff down lower than where it shows on the chart. We bought it like down here in the fives. Right? You could see I even set an alert down there. Anyways. So made a bunch of that. Also sold up into strength and stuff, but didn't bag hold it. It crashed. Now it's at support. It's cheap. Prior resistance turns support. So I just bought a little. Why not? Not a huge size position yet, but you know, if we start to break out of this line, maybe on the throwback I'll add to it. So basically, you know, my ads today that I just added, RLC, and bought back some Edge. That's it. And I'm waiting for Poloniex to buy, not to buy on Poloniex, but I'm waiting for all those high cap coins. I'm waiting for some capitulation and some breakdowns of descending triangles to buy some bloody depths. Right? Alright, so are saying that GNT is breaking down. So if it washes out and has a lot of blood, I might load the boat on some more. So I have a smallish size position, and I would go into a much bigger size position if we ended up ever seeing something like this. Then I would probably load up on it. But otherwise, I don't really care. I just bought some edge like 5 minutes ago. B-Trex. Alright, well, this video is half an hour, so that's it for today's update.